Hello, everyone, and welcome to our conversation session for today. It's time for us to go ahead and start our lesson. So, for those of you who would like to participate in our
Hi.
lesson today, please come on into the Hangout and join me. All right, very good. Well, my name is Carissa, and I'll be your teacher for this hour for this particular topic. I see that I've got two so far. Okay. Um, Ad Adria, is that correct? Please tell me the correct pronunciation of your name.
Yes, Adrià.
Uh-huh, Adria. How are you today, Adria?
What, sorry?
How are you today?
Okay. Fine, thank you.
Good. I'm doing just fine today. Thank you for asking. Now, tell me a little bit about yourself, Adria.
Well, I'm from Barcelona, from Spain, and I need to improve my English, and it's my first class in Berlin, and I hope that was uh, that is experience.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're going to have a good lesson today, so I'm happy that you're able to join us for this lesson. Great to have you here. Okay, very good. Let me welcome your classmates as well. Let's welcome Michael. Hello, Michael. How are you doing today?
Hey there, I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Um, yeah, doing good today. Lots of work. I was out of town for the past weekend, so came back and there's lots of work to do at home. But
Can I ask how
um,
did you celebrate the 4th of July?
I did not.
Why so?
No, no, I don't. Popular holidays don't really call my attention, so I don't really worry about those. I was actually out of town this weekend for a 2-day seminar, which I found
Mhm.
very interesting. So yeah, in fact, with me being out of the States, I live in a country where Independence Day is not the 4th of July.
Yeah,
So
but you are like, I don't know, you used to live there, so you should be a little bit an American in your heart,
I'm not really patriotic.
no?
I know where I'm from. I know my roots and my culture, but I'm not very patriotic. No.
That's weird. I asked like five teachers here in Verbling, and they kind of told me the same. They didn't celebrate 4th of July at all.
Yeah. So it seems like it is important for you to celebrate Independence Day. Is that right?
No, no, no. I just asking because I celebrated 4th of July.
You did?
No, do you know how? So basically, here in my city was organized by the embassy of United States, like a picnic,
Uh-huh.
and for American citizens and for other peoples who would like to come, like you should pay like a sum of money, and you there like was different activities, and was the ambassador from he gave a speech like about his countries and things like that, and we had like a fun time on that picnic, like different activities, like we played competition, so
Uh-huh.
I become more familiar with American culture, and I've spoken with some American people, like from the
Uh,
United States.
okay. Well, that
That's
you
why
know
I asked you.
that sounds like a very interesting and fun time. I can tell you that I really do enjoy picnics, and I love playing games and having fun where the whole family can join in, and we just eat and laugh and talk and
Yeah,
play.
they were like American food, like hamburgers. You know this all stuff like from McDonald's and barbecue, and we could enjoy that in the sun, like and different music, American music. So it was really a good time. That's why I've asked, like, how do you celebrate? So
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for your question. It was nice that you asked that, and you told me some interesting information. Now
I
that's gonna.
celebrated. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not an American citizen, but I kind of was interested in that.
Yeah. No, I have so many international friends from other countries, that I find it better to be neutral and, just to engage in things that everybody can enjoy in.
Okay, okay, I
Yeah.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for being here with us. We definitely appreciate your presence.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Okay, well, your other classmates have joined us, so I want to go ahead and welcome them as well. Hello, Elena. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Very
Good.
glad to be here at class.
Yeah. I'm happy to have you again here in class. How was your weekend?
Quite normal, but it was okay.
Okay. All right, so nothing new and exciting happened?
No, next week perhaps, but
Okay.
not the last one. But it was a nice weekend anyway.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm happy that you had a good weekend as well. Thanks for joining us today. Okay, very good. Let's welcome Tatiana. Hello, Tatiana. How are you doing today?
Hello,
Hi, how are you today?
I'm on top of the world
Oh, now that sounds pretty exciting. Why are you on top of the world today?
because I spent very interesting my vacations. That's why.
Oh, okay. So,
Yes, I'm married a Turkish man, and sometimes we live separately. I live in Russia, he lives in Turkey, but sometimes we meet together. I
mhm,
come there, and he comes here, and this time he comes here in my place, and
mhm,
spent great holidays. We went to thermal water, thermal lake.
mhm. Oh, that sounds
Hot
nice.
spring. Yes, hot spring. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yes, we spent maybe 3 hours there. It's what rather hot water. Uh,
Mhm,
and then we went to waterfalls.
mhm.
Huh? It was great.
Okay. That sounds nice. Well, it definitely sounds like you have good reason to be on top of the world. Thank you. And I appreciate the way that you shared that with us. You definitely had a tone of excitement in your voice, and it made us want to learn more about your weekend. Okay, that's going to factor into our conversation today. So thanks for giving us that great example.
You're welcome.
Okay, very good. Let's also welcome Abdallah. Hello, Abdallah. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry, I just looked at your message. So you need to step away for a little bit?
Yes, just for 5 minutes and I will back. I don't want to get out of class because I see it's full, and if I get back, I will. If I get out, I will never back.
True. Yeah, it looks like we got a full house today. Okay, so just send me a chat when you're back and you're ready to participate, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay,
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's welcome Joseph. Hello, Joseph. How are you doing today? Let's see. Joseph. Joseph is still with us? Okay, I think Joseph is not still with us. Okay, Rodrigo, welcome. How are you doing, Rodrigo?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. And you?
I'm doing pretty good today. Doing pretty good. So, what can you tell us about your weekend, Rodrigo? Was it fun or was it?
I was so. I was studying very much. My
Oh, really?
finals exam.
Oh, yeah, lots of studying.
Yes.
So, how's it going? Are you ready for your exams?
Yes, I am.
You don't sound very excited about it.
It's hard.
It's hard. Okay, well, if you have good study habits, that is definitely a plus. That makes it a little bit easier.
Yes.
He says yes. I don't know, Rodrigo. You don't sound very convincing. All right, well, very good. We'll get you talking a bit more as we go through our lesson today.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Okay, we also have Alaa. Hello, how are you doing today? Let's see, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Okay, I guess we don't have him anymore. Okay, beautiful. Let's go ahead to Pablo. Pablo, how are you doing today?
Hi, hi teacher, I'm fine.
Good, good. So tell us a little bit about your weekend. Was it fun and exciting?
Uh, it was fun, but the Friday we
Hmm.
lost the game. I'm from Colombia, and we lost the football game with Brazil. That ruined
Oh,
the rest of the weekend.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Well, I can understand your pain. I live in Costa Rica, and Costa Rica lost on
Okay,
Saturday. So,
okay. And your DT, your uh, it was a Colombian man. Uh,
I'm sorry, say that
the
again?
the the technique it is Colombian, a Colombian man. Uh, the DT, the technical director,
Oh, okay, okay. He's Colombian.
is Colombian.
The trainer is Colombian.
Mhm.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, what can you do? Yeah, it's people here were very disappointed about that, but Costa Rica's never gotten that far in the World Cup, so in the selection, so at least, that's something to be proud of, I think.
Yes, Colombia is the same with
Hmm.
Colombia. We
Yeah.
never go till the until that step up.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, good. Well, thanks everybody for sharing just a little bit about yourselves and a little bit about your weekends. This is a great chance to warm up and practice using your English, talking about fun topics. All right. Okay, very good. Well, let's go ahead and see what our lesson is about today. As you read in our description, today we're going to focus mainly on our conversation. Okay, so I'm not going to focus so much on making corrections in your grammar. I will do it some, but not as much as I usually do. What I want you to focus on is getting used to adding interesting facts and details in your conversations. All right. It's one thing to write English, it's one thing to read it and understand it, but it's yet a different thing to have interesting conversations. All right, so in the description it says that we're going to improve our conversation by adding an interesting fact or detail about your topic. All right, so we're going to take a look at a couple of topics and perhaps do just a little bit of research to make your conversations more interesting and meaningful. All right, because we want to move beyond, hello, how are you? My name is such and such, and I'm from whatever country, and that's it. Okay, that doesn't sound very interesting. All right. Okay, very good. I'm going to give you an example, and then we're just going to go from there. Okay, let's see if I can do a screen share. Okay, great, Abdallah, great. I'm glad that you're back with us. Perfect timing. Okay, just give me a second while I do my screen share. All right, we're going to take a look at an example, and then we're going to talk about it just a little bit. All right, so we're going to get a couple of tips, and I'm going to share with you some helpful phrases. All right, very good. Okay, so I took this article or this news clip from a magazine that I like to read. It's called Awake Magazine. And I always find that they have very good, interesting articles and articles that appeal to people all around the world. Okay, they have a Watching the World series, and they always have an interesting news snippet from different parts of the world. Okay, so let's take a look at this news snippet from the United States. Okay, all right, so I need to get a volunteer. Let's see. Well, maybe I'll just ask someone to read. Tatiana, would you do us the favor of reading the news snippet below the picture?
In 2012, this?
Yes, perfect. I'm going to advance it a little bit. Just give me a second.
Okay.
All right. Okay, there you go.
In 2012, 14.5% of United States households, a total of 49 million people, were uncertain of having or unable to acquire enough food to meet the needs of all their members at some time during the year, according to Department of Agriculture
Okay.
statistics.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, beautiful. Excellent job, Tatiana. Your reading was very clear and it was accurate. Excellent job. Very good. Okay. All right. Now, I found this article interesting, and I'll tell you why. Okay, first of all, for me it's interesting that in a large developed country and a country that has money, according to all thought and belief, that 49 million people in the United States fit into two categories, that they were unable to acquire enough food. Now that for me is it's amazing that that's the case, just given the amount of food that is produced in the United States. Okay, or they felt like they were uncertain of having or unable to acquire enough food to meet the needs of all of their family members. Okay, so that tells me that maybe one or two people in a household were able to eat, and maybe the rest found it difficult to have food. Now, for me, I think that's very interesting. Okay, now how do I well, okay, let me just stop there. That's what I found interesting about this snippet. Okay, now I'd like to know what you find interesting or maybe even alarming about this statistic. All right, so I'm going to ask Elena. Elena, what do you find interesting or even alarming about this new snippet?
I find a lot of things alarming, but the data that takes my attention is the number 49 million people. It sounds so great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it really does sound like a really large number. It is a really large number, okay? But there are lots of people who live in the United States. So in comparison to the number of people that live in the States, it's really only about 15% of U.S. households.
Yeah, I can see it there in the same paragraph. But you know, I know statistics. I know the principles of statistics. But when you watch the absolute number, although it's less informative than the percentage, it can be a big effect on you.
Yes, it does have an impact on you. You are absolutely right. Okay, very good. All right, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. All right, let's ask Michael. Michael, taking a look at the picture, what do you find interesting or maybe even alarming about the picture?
Well, it's a picture of a fridge that is empty inside. We can see on the first shelf of that fridge 3 jars, I think, with some jars, some cans, or what's that?
Mm-hmm. Yep, like jars.
Jars with some food.
Uh-huh.
And that picture implies that 49 million people from the United States have had this kind of situation once in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Thank you. All right, now here is the point of our lesson for today. Okay, so in conversations, we usually share some interesting fact that we have either heard on the news or that we have read in a magazine or in a newspaper. All right. In most cases, you probably would not be carrying around the newspaper or the magazine to share it, to quote it directly to someone that you're talking to. So you may just remember a part of it. So how do you take something that you find interesting and how do you put that or incorporate that into your conversation? Okay, that's our goal for today. Now I'm going to scroll down just a little bit And I'm going to see if I can give you an example here of how we might be able to do that. Okay, so for example, I may say to you in a conversation, and let me have a conversation with someone. I think that would even be better. Okay, Abdallah, I'm going to share something with you, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Is that okay? Okay, I think Abdallah stepped away once again. All right, all right, very good. Okay, Rodrigo.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Rodrigo's here with me. Okay, so listen to this, Rodrigo. So, Rodrigo, I recently read something that caught my attention about the United States. I found it interesting that in a large developed country like the U.S., a total of 49 million people were uncertain of having or unable to acquire enough food to meet the needs of their households at some time during the past year. You know, Rodrigo, this tells me that people everywhere are having a problem making ends meet. Is this a problem in your country?
Yes, it is.
So tell us about it. Okay, let me stop there. Okay, I'll stop there. Okay, so do you see what I did here? Okay, I'm going to highlight a couple of things that are of interest. All right, so here's a key phrase. I recently read something that caught my attention about. Okay, this is an example of something that you could say. All right, now I continue by saying I found it interesting that. And here is where I'm going to mention exactly what I found interesting. Okay, not only that, here's a conclusion that I reached. Okay, so this tells me something. Okay, this is a conclusion that I've reached about what I read. The last step of this process, because I want to include the other person in this conversation, I'm going to ask them a question about what I've just said. All right, so basically that's the process. Find something interesting, okay, and then talk about it. Now, here's a couple of helpful phrases that you could see in that topic or in the example. I found something interesting. Such and such really caught my attention. I can hardly believe that. It's amazing how, etc. I find this, blah, 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 alarming because. Okay, so these are some helpful phrases that you may be able to use when you talk about interesting things. All right, very good. Now, it's your turn. Okay, let's talk about something here. Now, I think who was it that someone mentioned about the World Cup? Okay, that's been a popular topic lately. Okay, so who of you watched the World Cup?
Me.
Okay, who said me?
Teacher, you can hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Teacher. Okay.
Okay, very good. I'm sorry, tell me who said me. Who watched the World Cup?
Rodrigo.
Okay, Rodrigo watched the World Cup. Anyone else? Okay,
Not me.
Okay. All right, very good. So not a popular pastime. I think Tatiana made a lot less because she was having a great weekend. All right, very good. Okay. Okay, so Rodrigo, I'm going to start with you. Okay. Now I want you to choose one of your classmates, and I want you to share something interesting about the World Cup. Something about what you saw this weekend that you found interesting or alarming or surprising. Okay, so choose someone, and you're going to tell them about it.
Okay, Michael.
Okay.
Just a minute, please. You have the link of this. No. So, I found interesting that a game of Japan, because after the game, all the people who was cheering for Japan started to pick up the trash that they they uh, they throw throw in the floor. How would I say that?
To pick up the trash from off the ground?
Yes, and I can hardly believe that this uh, could happen with the people of Brazil.
Wow.
It's amazing how they are polite. I could say how could I say that? I don't know.
Okay, so that they were really polite, yes, but also that they gave such attention to cleaning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, very good. Now, what question could you ask Michael?
Do you think that your country would people of your country would do that too?
Wow, it's amazing what you told me right now. I'm quite surprised and I'm stumped. So I don't think they would do that like Japanese people. I find interesting that Japanese people are very clean and they like um, they are very accurate and your story really caught my attention. I can hardly believe that in my country people would do like that. It's amazing how the Japanese people are. I find this freaking awesome. That's all.
He's like, okay, that's all.
I used all the expression from your list.
You did. That was good.
I know it was kind of not natural, my speech, but I tried really hard.
Yes, very good. Okay, no, that's the point, okay? The point is that you learn some helpful vocabulary and you put it into practice right away. That way you can make it your own. Okay, now these are not the only phrases that you can use, but they are helpful. All right, very good. Okay, so let's get our other participants involved. All right, Tatiana. Tatiana, let's go ahead and. All right, very good. Okay, so Tatiana, it's your turn. Now, I'd like you to think of something interesting to share. Maybe you could share it with Elena about your weekend. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything very long, but just one thing that you found interesting.
Can I replace these expressions?
You sure can. You sure can.
Okay. Elena, last week my husband called me from Turkey and said that he would come to visit me, and I could hardly believe that it's true. But it's true. It was true, and he came here, and I found it's very interesting to spend time with him, and it was amazing how we spent our vacation. The thermal lake was really caught my attention, and I suggest to visit this place to my husband, and he agreed, and I found this a little bit alarming because the weather was hot and the water was rather hot, and I thought that this was unbelievable to take bath in a thermal hot water, but it's was amazing. how we spent our time.
Oh, it's amazing how happy you are. I'm very glad for you.
Thank
Because
you. And
yes,
what about you?
well, my weekend was not so special, but don't mind. I find what you are uh, sharing with us wonderful and very very nice because well um, w- we all are well it's very nice to have someone so happy and so exciting in class.
Okay, good. Now, I want to just pause for a second. It's interesting that when you, it's interesting. It's nice to hear that when you talk about something that you find interesting, you have an excitement in your voice and it's contagious. Okay, people actually want to know more about what you're talking about, and that will help keep your conversation flowing. All right, I want to just go back for a second. When Rodrigo was talking about how clean Japanese people are, all right, I found a few other synonyms for you that you could use. Okay, so Japanese people are so hygienic, they're so neat, they're so tidy. So that's another way that you can improve your conversation by going to thesaurus.com or any other online thesaurus and trying to find a few more words that you can use to add variety to what you say. All right,
What
excellent
site?
job.
Sorry, what site?
I'm going to put it here on the board for you. Okay, let's see. All right, I get it there. Okay. Okay, and
Oh, okay.
I'll put it in the other chat for you.
So do
Okay,
you
that
mean
was
synonyms to look up for synonyms?
yes, you can look for synonyms and you can also look for antonyms depending upon what you want to say. And actually, it's really nice if you also look for antonyms because you can then say the opposite too. Okay,
Okay.
very good. That was actually an activity that we did in another class. We took some time to right, we took some time to look at some synonyms and antonyms and add that to our conversation as well to make it a bit better. Okay. All right, very good. Okay, good. And Rodrigo, you did something really nice too. You're adding a link, all right? So in today's technological world, you can send a WhatsApp message or whatever messaging system that you use, and people can instantly see what you're talking about and comment on it. All right, very good. Excellent job. All right, it looks like Vincencio joined us. They're crazy.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, doing
Yeah.
excellent. Thank you so much. All right, very good. Okay, well let's check back with Abdallah. Abdallah, are you still with us?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Abdallah, it's your turn. Okay, very good. So Abdallah, I want you to tell us something that you found interesting as well. All right. This time you have okay, Vincenzo, who just joined us. So maybe you could tell Vincenzo the interesting that you found.
Okay. What I really found interesting when we look at the Earth age, okay, and the all the human being living in the Earth, didn't have complete change in this life in his life, okay. But when we look in the past hard year 100 years, you can find a lot of change. The technology world, how it's changed the earth, and how it's become a lot of things easy by technology. If you want to contact with others, or as a social media, or as a anything, is the creativity of the technology, how it's make anything hard, it's make it easy. and what is believed to heart, it is how its effect in our world or in our air, in our in earth environment. Its effect, it's had a lot of effects in our environments. Just
Okay, good. All right, so now the last thing you want to do is you want to ask a question about what you've just said. Okay, so ask your listener a question about what you've just said.
okay. What's your opinion about the change that's happened in the our plant or our world about the technologies?
It's me, teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch very well the question, but about technology, perhaps it is the influence of technology in our society. I think, the impact of the technology in our society. Yes, I think from uh, one side, yes, it's very important because technology help us in order to solve some problems. But on the other side, I think that it's not so good about relationship because we are always talking about virtual relationship in this way. Is, there is some lack of contact about man and woman, and this is the bad part of technology because we are more focused see, about the reaching of something with technology, but we are not interested about people. So I found the technology that is interesting, uh, but I can, like in this sentence, I can hardly believe that it can solve the problem between people, the relationship between people. Um and I don't know, that's the problem. Yes.
Okay, but
Okay, now that's very
what's
interesting. Mhm.
I just won't ask him other
Mhm.
question, but okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, okay. What's your conclusions about the side effect of the side effect about what how it's affect about environments or about the natures
That
of the world?
environment. Yes, this effect on the environment is that people are more interested in how can I say, to solve the problem, but are less interested in order to about the environment. So we are going to destroy the environment, and that's a problem because we can drive a lot of cars, but the cars are there are a lot of pollution with cars, something like that, and this is something that occurs with other things, not only with cars but uh, but industries and other things, I think, because we want some instrument in order to be well in but then on the other side we are going to destroy the environment. Yes. So I don't know. It's possible to solve to clean the environment, but I hope so.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there because I
I
want to
hope.
get your classmates involved with you as well. Thanks, guys, for sharing your opinion. All right, Tatiana, what do you find interesting about this conversation about how technology is affecting the environment and how it affects people? What are your thoughts, Tatiana?
I'm sorry, I was speaking on the phone. That's why I missed your conversation. Um, uh,
No problem, no problem. You don't feel on the spot. We're just talking about how technology can affect the environment and how it can affect people. All right. If you want to take a moment, that's fine. Let me just check back in with one of your other classmates. Feel free to share your
no,
thoughts.
I can explain my own thoughts.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I think that technology spoil our environment because of the pollution of air. Maybe it's a great progress in evolution, but it concern about our environment because people need cut more forests. They need to work the plants and pipes work, and there are a lot of uh, smoke goes into the air, and maybe it's not good for us. And computers, there are a lot of Wi-Fi's, computers and telephones. They make negative reaction on our body and our health. And some technologies like games make our children to be addicted from them, and it's not good, I think.
Okay, all right. Elena, what do you find interesting about this conversation or about the topic at hand? Elena, what are your thoughts?
Well, the topic is so interesting that we could speak about it. And well, I found that Abdullah and Vincenzo um, have developed their arguments. So they have spoken quietly, and they look as they know what they were saying. They were saying. So it was nice. It's important when you are talking about some issue. You can uh, mm, you can construct your argument.
Okay.
Not
Uh-huh.
that.
Good. You're
So
right.
that's
And
bullshit.
that's right. And we're doing it in English. And that's the thing that really impresses me is that we've taken a very popular topic and we're talking about it in English. All right, so I'm going to add to the question and I'm going to ask you, Elena, what you think. Elena, can we live without technology? So
I
what
don't.
do you
I
think
don't
about
want.
that?
I don't want to live without technology. At least. Yeah, I think that it's so complicated issue, and I like technology. I love technology, and not all the problems find a solution with technology, but some of our problems, even our even the problems that are caused by technology can found perhaps a solution in technology. For example, pollution is a huge problem in developed countries, but it's a bigger problem in non-developed countries. So perhaps we can take some technological solutions to solve some problems. Well,
Okay. All right, now that's an interesting concept. Okay, so we can actually use technology to solve problems. So now here's my next question, and I'd like to get Michael back involved. So Michael, is the problem with technology itself, or is it in how we use technology?
I think there is no problem with technology nowadays. I mean, it used to be when technology weren't so advanced, but nowadays they become more advanced. So, for example, all the technologies consume less energy. Yeah, energy. Like computers, like TV screens, for example, like fridges. They definitely consume less than 10 years ago. And also they are not so harmful for people. They're not harmful at all nowadays. And it's used less it is used less wood nowadays. For example, people don't read so much magazines, and they don't read books so much. They read more electronic books, and that's why technology is like more advanced nowadays. And to answer your question about if people, it's about how people use technologies. Yeah, did you ask?
Yes.
Like, can you ask again, please? Because I'm.
Yep. The question is technology the problem, or is how we use technology the problem?
Okay, I assume that how we use technology is the problem because, for example, every person has a choice. For example, when you want to buy a car, you could buy a simple car, like with less consumption of gasoline, but you can choose a car that is more that consume more gasoline. So basically, some people choose to buy cars that they consume lots of gasoline. This is one example, for example. Okay. Or another example could be that people, for example, they fly all around the world. They could, instead to fly on their personal jet, for example, that costs lots of money, and also so how would you say that the flying from point A to point B costs lots of money?
Just like that.
Yeah.
You could, for example, you could say reduce costs of flying from one city to another, or from one country to another. You could cut down on cost or reduce costs.
Yeah. So, for example, people. I know that there are people that fly by themselves in one plane from one city to another, like their private jet. But they could fly with what is not private jet, like ordinary jet or what?
Yeah, they could on a commercial.
Yeah, on a commercial airline they could fly, and by that they reduce pollution, because there's lots of pollution because of their airplane. And also you could use less things like mobile phones. You can talk less on them. You can meet more in person instead of talking on mobile phones. You can use less computer. You can as well meet in person, for example, instead to do something over the Skype or something. And also, what else? What I did not say? I said lots of things. So.
Yeah, you did, and you know that's good. It's really nice, and Abdallah should feel really good, because Abdallah, you've chosen a subject that we've been talking about for a while now, and so you can see the effect that choosing a good topic and then explaining what you find interesting about it, the effect that it has on others. All right, let's continue the topic because Vincenzo mentioned something that I personally found interesting. Okay, the effect. Okay, so how does technology affect?
Do you mean? Do you want me to answer, teacher?
Okay, just give me 1 second. All right, I want to just piggyback on something that you said, something that you
You-
asked. Okay, so
Yes.
here's.
You can ask Carissa, how do you affect technology?
How do you affect technology?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to hear from Abdallah again because we haven't heard from Abdallah in quite a while. So I'm going to go back to Abdallah. Abdallah, how does technology affect interpersonal relationships? What do you think? Does it make it? Are we drawing closer to each other, or are we drawing away from each other?
It's a great problem.
I think I find it is hard now. People visit each other because the technology. He can if he want to talk to him or know what's the new about his friend or his family. He just open the WhatsApp or any other application and talk to them. And the result of that, no one is to visit other now, other one or another side. No, the son he just talk with his father about in Skype or in WhatsApp, and he doesn't think about his if he visits him that will be better about feeling I think the technology is take you from real life to fake life or 010 life. It's the matrix or the technology world. No, as I mentioned, it has changed a lot of the relationships between others, as a sons and the fathers, or as a friends, as a lot of things. And now I see that my friends now, when we hang out to create a place, no one talk. Everyone catch his mobile and just chatting with other one. Everyone take his mobile and make his head down and look at his mobile. Just
Okay.
Perhaps
Go
teachers
ahead.
must make the apology of the losing time in order to be better, no? Instead of save time in order to meet some people, we have to lose time in order to meet people. Yes, we must make the contrary.
So Rodrigo, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think that no one visits each other nowadays? What do you think about that, Rodrigo? Okay,
I think that people use too much technology. I don't think that's good. Like I said, people. I think people don't visit too much as should be.
Okay. All right. Tatiana, what do you think about that?
I agree with everybody.
So what can we do about that? Can we find a balance? What do you think about that, Tatiana? What balance can we find?
We could find balance. I think nowadays some people have 2 or more telephones, like me. I try to get rid of one, but it's not easy.
We are now hypnotized.
Yeah. Tablet, laptop, computer, a lot of thing in the same room, in the same place.
All right. So what I'd like to know, maybe Elena, share your thoughts. What can we do about that? What can we do to find a balance?
The balance will come by itself. I think so. The balance is difficult, but social process finds its way in society. So of course we in our private life must to look for a balance, but not like a society. The society will find its way. And I would like to ask you if you had ever seen a grandfather or some grandparents talking by Skype with their grandchild in another country. Of course, they are not going to visit him or her because it's so expensive and difficult, perhaps. But they can take contact every day, every week. It's wonderful. We are a community in some sense here now, and this community it's impossible without technology. The technology we are sharing.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, guys, I'm sorry that we have to stop our conversation. What I am excited about, though, is just how long we've been talking about this particular topic.
Sorry?
Teacher?
Carissa has gone out.
Where are you, Carissa?
Maybe the dog eat our
I hope he doesn't. Carissa!
Are you alive?
Because I can hardly believe that, or it's amazing how.
Oh.
Very good. Well, everyone, I want to thank you for coming to class, and I want to thank you for your participation. I'm going to have to go now because I have another class, but hopefully I'll see you again for a future session, and go ahead and please book a private lesson if you would like to on Verbaling. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you later. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.